What is going on, guys? I hope you guys could hear me. Sorry for the webcam seems to never work on this thing when I go absolutely live right from the get go. But we are talking the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 3. So, of course, how it works is I just get my thoughts, my overall thoughts on the review, and then we go into spoiler territory. And it's just a quick little review, what I really kind of generally thought about the episode. But before I do, people who are watching, you just come into the stream. Let you guys know that I have a Funko Pop giveaway that will be the winner will be announced at the end of the series. So if you guys want to win this Colossus Funko Pop, all you have to do is follow the link in the comment section and then subscribe to the channel and put down on that video, that Funko Pop giveaway video, hashtag X-Men, and the winner will be announced at the end of this series. But let's dive into this episode, okay? So non-spoiler for now, and then we'll get into spoiler. I was kind of I don't know how to feel about this episode. There's so much going on, and I feel like I need to watch the episode again. It's one of those episodes where there's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of exposition. There's just overall there's just a lot to take in and to kind of like think about, right? I mean, I felt that way. I don't know if you guys felt that way. It was kind of a baffling episode, honestly. There was some things I really like. But then there was a lot of things where I'm just like, okay. The pacing was super fast, and you thought that was going to happen, right? I mean, we only have 3 more episodes left, so I thought the pacing was quick. And when we get introduced to past characters, a little bit of new characters, it happens really, 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 really fast. But yeah, it's just an episode where you just kind of like have to kind of rewatch it. But the action sequences are still good. Bucky and Sam still have that nice little chemistry. And then also the cinematography in here was really good. I just got done watching King Kong versus Godzilla, and there's a scene in Tokyo, and there's like a scene in kind of, it looks like with neon. It kind of reminds me of Blade Runner. This episode reminded me a lot of like James Bond type film. Really, really, really reminded me of that. We kind of more focused on Sam and Bucky. There is new Cap is in here, Walker. Good morning, Dan. Hey, what's going on, Paul? Damn, it's morning over there. And then also going back to the review, we focus more on Sam and Bucky, and it's definitely trying to find the trail and trying to figure out what's with the soldier serum. So there was a lot to take. There was a lot of explaining in this episode. There was a lot of things just absolutely going on, and I felt like it was really messy. It was a messy episode, in my opinion. And then, but I do like some of the character interactions. We get to know a little bit more of. I mean, it's not a spoiler, guys. I mean, we get Zemo back in the fold, and I was really, really, really looking forward to Zemo. And Zemo comes in the fold, and it's kind of odd. It's kind of odd because I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like he was kind of a new kind of character. He wasn't that. It makes sense, I guess, because he's been in prison for a long time, and then also, at the end of the Civil War, but he's not as bitter. He just has a different tone to him. And watching this episode too, what really got me was, Bucky is not as intimidating as he used to be, as Winter Soldier. But in this episode, you do see the dude still has it. The dude could still rock and kick ass. So, it's definitely a longer episode. I think this is the longest episode out of all the episodes. There was a lot to really kind of like wrap your brain around. There was a lot of history, but then there was a lot of, I had to go here. There was a lot of jumping, right? Going from here to there to here. It kind of reminded me of Rise of Skywalker, where we got to go here to get this information. But it was good to see Zemo in the fold. The costume design, I love Winter Soldier's costume look. I think Sam got the short end of the stick on that one. I love this usage of the music. You get a little bit of that Winter Soldier music in there, and they really bring it in and out, which in a perfect way, perfect timing on it. There's one particular scene with Sam and Bucky where they once again, I guess the scenes when they really talk about Cap and what the meaning of like the shield. I'm really engaged because you see these two men who Cap invested all everything to, and just to have that dialogue and that conversation, especially this one particular scene in the episode, was really good. So overall, it's kind of hard for me to like kind of give it a rating because I literally just watched it. I watched it. I'm sitting here. I'm still trying to kind of like think about, okay, what did I just watch? Um, I really think the pacing's really all over the place on this one. Like there's like a kind of a love hate thing going on right here where I'm just like, they only have three more episodes to go, and I'm just kind of a little. And I'll get into it in spoilers why I find it a little bit baffling to me in this episode. But it's crazy. Like it delivers on like it just moving along and fast pace. Delivers on some of the action. There's one particular part in this episode that was really well done, but I could tell it was like a body double. I'll get to that in a minute. But to rate this episode, because there's just so much going on here. To rate it, I am going to give it. I had mixed feelings about this episode. I'm sorry. I just do, guys. I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I'm gonna give it, and I'll have it on right here, so I could just kind of like bounce, kind of like go back and see some of the scenes that were happening. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. I'm so mixed about it. There's a lot of stuff I liked, but then there was like a lot of stuff I'm like really baffled by, and it wasn't like god awful, but it was like, this is kind of could have. I'm a little mixed on some of the characters on in here, and I'm a little mixed on some of the coincidence. So I'm gonna get a 7.5 out of 10. I think I really need to rewatch it, especially with subtitles. There's a lot of scenes in here where I'm like, okay, what the hell did you just say right now? I feel like I have to watch this with subtitles again to get more of the information. The ending of this episode was pretty good too. It kind of leads up to, and there's some things that make sense. Like, oh, I didn't even really think about that. And that totally makes sense. So the ending of this episode really sets up for some more interesting stuff to happen. But I'm really kind of like, they only have three more episodes. So I'm getting like a Game of Thrones vibe, but it's not bad. It's like the Falcon and Winter Soldier is not Game of Thrones season 8 level. I'm just saying the pacing feels like it. There's a lot of kind of rush stuff happening in this episode. But right now, currently, my rating might change after rewatching it the second time. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. So we're gonna get into spoilers. So thank you guys for joining. I need your help on the chat because I think we all need to discuss this, and I'm gonna read a lot of the comments on the chat. Albert, I need your help on this one, man, because I just, how do you feeling? Like, I'm just really like still processing. That's the crazy part, is when after you watch an episode and you go straight to live streaming, and especially when it's just you talking, you're still just kind of like, you're talking, but then you're like thinking about like what kind of happened. So that's why I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 for now. And then I'm going to rewatch it, and then maybe I'll do a proper review and see if my feelings change after rewatching it with subtitles and kind of understanding a little bit more of what happened in this episode. But I do feel like it baffles me on the pacing and just how much they just threw at you. And there is one particular scene where they kind of slow it down with all Zemo, Buck, and Sam. They slow it down for a little bit, but then it kind of goes right back full throttle. So thank you guys for joining. So just to let you guys know, I'm doing a Funko Pop giveaway. You can win this Colossus Funko Pop, and I will announce the winner at the end of this series, the Falcon and Winter Soldier. If you guys want to enter, there's the link in my bio when this uploads, and there's a link up top. All you have to do is click that link, goes to the video, and subscribe to the channel, and put down in the comments section hashtag X-Men, and I will announce the winner at the end of this series. So you guys are warned. Spoilers. I'm going to type it real quick to let everybody know that we are jumping into spoilers. Let me caps this baby. This is the first time doing this, but I did this for another cast, and it's good to know. So spoilers. If you guys are joining me, I need to know your guys' thoughts on this episode. I'm feeling one way. I'm feeling mixed. I'm feeling really mixed right now. So we're gonna jump into the. Well, before I jump into the comments, there's one particular thing, scene in this whole series that I'm like, oh my god, it makes so much sense. I didn't really think about it. And that is when, spoiler alert, we're in spoilers, is when Sharon Carter is back in the fold. And we knew Sharon Carter was going to come back in the fold, right? And I didn't think about it, but they totally left her hanging. Like she's still on the run. Even Sam's like, oh, dude, I fucked up. I'm sorry. Like, I was like, oh shit, that's absolutely right. You left her. You had like no call, nothing. You didn't no pardon. Dude, Winter Soldier got a pardon, and Sharon Carter is still on the run. I don't think watching it, I don't think they mentioned anything about that kiss with her and Cap. I was waiting for Sam to make fun of that, but man, that was I was like, it's just like a light bulb in my head. I'm like, why have I never thought of that? Why have I never thought of Sharon Carter? Man, I would be super fucking pissed. That was the thing I was talking about coincidence. You know, it was a coincidence that Sharon Carter was at the same nightclub as they were. It was a coincidence when Zemo got the gun and it was fully loaded, no safety on. I'm sure he took off the safety. A lot of like, oh, so this the car, it's a coincidence. There was a car, so there was those kind of moments, but totally like. That's such a great point about Sharon Carter. So let's get into the comments section because I think I need to hear you guys' thoughts. I want you to comment and let me know what you guys thought about this episode. What do you have gripes about it? Do you love it? Was it a 10 out of 10? I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I need to rewatch it. I think it's definitely an episode you need to rewatch. And it felt long. For the pacing it had, it felt long. It kind of felt like I was watching a movie, you know? So Albert always in here. So Albert is my computer guy, because apparently Sam has kind of like the computer guy, the wheelchair guy, right? So Albert, I need your help on this one. Paul is good morning, Paul. I hope you get your coffee. I hope you're ready to listen to this. Let's see, 10:54. I'm here. Albert, rusted, longing, 17. Yeah. Well, you know, remember when Zemo was saying like December whatever 5th or whatever, the Tony Stark thing. That was a cool little kind of like, you know, I did like that scene when Bucky's like, dude, you stay back. I need to go. I'm going into this. Like, I need to talk to Zemo because, and that was another thing. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You know, Zemo, there was really no hard feelings to Winter Soldier. Even though he wants to get rid of the whole Super Soldier program, his overall goal in Civil War, right? But it makes, yeah, I'm like, you know, they have history, and why I absolutely believe that Bucky should have talked to Zemo in that moment. So I did like that. How Sam was like, "Nah, fuck that, dude. I'm going in there," and he's like, "Nah, you're not. You're an Avenger, man." So and then I did love the conversation that Zemo and Bucky had. I just thought super rushed, man. I just felt like there was no build up. Not enough build up, I guess. There wasn't. It just, and then when it happened, and when Zemo teams up with everybody, you know, he's already with them and he's helping them out. It just felt so odd and weird, and then the Zemo character throughout the whole episode, it didn't feel like the Zemo we got in Civil War, which makes sense. He was been in prison. He you know, he learned. He a Black Panther spared his life. So it kind of makes sense. He would at least change a little bit, right, and reflect, right. But it still felt like a different kind of character. He definitely didn't feel menacing to me like he did in Civil War, because he is helping them out. But if tonally, he just a Zemo, and it's the same actor, you know, and everything. But I don't know. It was a little odd. It was a little odd to me. Maybe it was because his pimp coat or something like that. But I felt like it was a little bit odd with that character. It might just be me though. Just came to say hi, give you a like. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for the like. Albert, Zemo instantly made the show better. Well, here's the thing, Albert. I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on it, honestly. But no, I mean Daniel. I'm gonna butcher his last name, but Bro or whatever it is. He's fantastic. He's a fantastic actor. I just feel like the the camaraderie and how like it feels like it feels too happy to me. I don't know. I don't know. It's just very odd to see Zemo helping these guys out. And then the scene where he, you know, of course, when he gets the gun, Sam, what are you doing, man? Why are you letting Zemo walk? You don't trust him. You put his ass. You threaten how many times to put him back in prison. Watch him. I know you're listening and watching the interrogation, but you have a madman right here. The babysitting job in this was terrible. Um this episode made Sharon Carter more badass than the movies have able to do. Well, what's the great thing about like Disney Plus TV, Marvel series like this is you can showcase these characters that were kind of left behind, that were pun intended, but you can showcase the abilities, the character, and so like WandaVision, right? WandaVision did a great job of really showcasing the romance, really getting to know more Scarlet Witch, Vision too, the pains that she's gone through. So with Sharon, I totally kind of relate to her more because they really just left her hanging. Now she was a badass. That was the particular scene I was talking about. That was a great action sequence. Definitely reminded me though of it was Civil War when Black Widow was fighting Crossbones, remember? But it kind of took me out a little bit because I'm like, oh, that's a body double. That's a stunt. That's a stunt woman. Because that was the same thing like with Scarlett Johansson. But at that time, I think she was pregnant. So I think the actress didn't really do all of her stunts and fight choreography because you just really see the back of the head and stuff. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the fight wasn't good. The fight was good. The action sequence was really good in there. I did enjoy that a lot. So, but Sharon, it was kind of like out of the blue that like she just happened to be where they were. But I really feel bad for her, especially with the conversation with her and Sam. And Sam's like, my bad. Let's see. No, 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 no. I felt like John Wick 3 after their identities were exposed. Yeah, that was a weird. I did, you know, Zemo really telling them, like, listen, you got to stay in character, and I did like how Bucky had to resort back to like being the Winter Soldier, and then him gonna make the trade to. It did kind of remind me of John Wick a lot, especially with the neon lights, the action sequences too. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Albert. It did remind me a lot of John Wick. And then of course when they have the meeting, right, and then uh, Zemo is going to give up Winter Soldier for information on this super serum. So, but I did like how Bucky had to go back because Bucky wants to leave that past behind. I will say though, Bucky, what are you doing? If that's so precious to you to have those names in your little book, in a book, how's Zemo easily getting that like a gun? You know. Let's see. Zemo has been in prison for 7 years. He's calmed down a bit with regards of the anger and hatred he had in the Age of Ultron. Um, well, you mean Civil War because he wasn't introduced in Age of Ultron. He was introduced. Oh well, you're talking about the. I get it. You're talking about the death of his family. Yeah, I get it. It just felt a little bit. I guess it just. I have to kind of get used to it because after it's weird going from Civil War to this kind of um, to this, to the to seeing Zemo kind of like a little bit more lighthearted. I don't know if that's the best term, but you're absolutely right. I mean, I guess it's just a crazy like page turn to me. Um, we learned that he's rich. He gets so it makes sense that he's rich and he was able to do what he had to what he did. Be able to get the Avengers to fight each other. You need to have money, right? So that made sense. Um, it was just kind of a little odd. Maybe the pimp code is really like throwing me off, but he has his own butler and stuff. He has his own plane, so I guess the mask is It was inside of the one of all his different kind of cars. So very interesting that he's super rich. But it does make sense, and it does it just we didn't see it at all like in Civil War. Like we just and you know what I think what it is too is just the cinematography is so much kind of more in a grayer area in Civil War than the show, especially with the neon lights and the cinematography was great. Like I said in this series, they're totally different beasts. So maybe that's kind of throwing me off a little bit too. All right, let's see. There were a few scenes that were hard to hear from me as well. Yeah, I mean, if you guys are having trouble hearing the episodes, what I've been doing for my Mayans MC reviews is I'll watch it just straight out, and then I'll go back and I'll rewatch it with subtitles. The subtitles really make a difference because you miss a lot of key little things. So there's a lot of dialogue and a lot of conversations, especially with the flag smashers, that you miss. So I think subtitles would really help if you can't really hear it too well in a lot of these episodes, which is odd, because you think they're professional actors. Speak up. You think the directors would like tell them to speak up a little bit. You would hear the audio while they're filming, but I do recommend subtitles to get more out of the episode. And this is a longer episode, they're throwing a lot of dialogue and a lot of things at you. I don't like watching the subs because sometimes I read faster than they talk, and it doesn't hit the same. Like, not the subs are different, a different kind of animal because you want to watch the screen while so reading it, you're not getting like it's a give and take, But I don't mind the subs at all. I thought Zemo was gonna escape when the container was blown up. By the way, for my warfare fans, they were in shipment. Yeah, exactly right. They were in the shipment. Yeah. Oh, dude, Albert. Yeah, I thought he was gone. I thought he was definitely gonna leave, and he didn't. I was kind of shocked that he stayed behind. It was kind of Here's the thing though. So to me in Civil War, he was just kind of a guy, right? He didn't have no crazy abilities. He didn't seem like he was trained in anything. He was just really smart. He knew how to play the game. So when he does his little action sequence in this episode, that's what baffled me too, was his action sequences. I'm like, okay. Zemo seems like the guy who would either, because I don't remember seeing him do any action sequences in Civil War, just really playing these guys. But so that kind of threw me off a little bit too, his little action scenes. I mean, it wasn't like a crazy ass like Bucky and Sam or what they do, but it was skilled still. So that was interesting. Still don't care about the flag smashers, but they blew up a building with people in them, so they're actually villains. They're really paper thin villains. They just, you're right, Albert. They don't really do it for me. I know they're trying to give you a little soft spot on the one leader. What was it? Her mom was dying, I think. But I mean, there's almost 3 episodes gone. I thought Zemo was going to be, and eventually I think he will become the bad guy. It's really hinted after killing the scientist who recreated the serum, right? I think Zemo is going to become at least the baddie or escape at the end. It's too easy for him. It just feels too easy that this guy is going to be, he's going to absolutely escape. But I'm very shocked that he didn't escape when he blew up that container, that container. So I'm very shocked he didn't escape then. But he's probably waiting for the play, right? Because Zemo's a smart guy. But the flag smashers, yeah, they're not really doing it for me. But we do. So going to the flag smashers though, but we do get that hint that, dude, Wyatt, right? Hopefully my mic still working. Oh yeah, it's my phone. I would just send some. New Cap Wyatt. Ha 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 ha. Oh, whoa, what's this, Albert? Okay, so he does have training. So Albert sent me a pic, and it's of Zemo, and he does got some training. So that's my bad. I didn't know that. Thank you, Albert. That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. So take that back. his action scene. Okay, I did not know. I just thought he was a smart guy, so I went into what was that from, Albert? What was that pick from? Was that from Civil War? So okay, all right. Zemo's got some action. He's got some Chuck Norris kind of skills. But going back to not White White Russell, but New Cap. Going back to New Cap, you see the anger in him. You see the makings of a villain. You could this episode really showcased that he's frustrated. He's not getting wins here, and I think it's going to lead him to getting the super serum. It kind of, the scientist guy too reminded me of the guy from the Incredible Hulk. I thought it was him for a moment, but I was like, oh shit, it's not him. But going back to New Cap, New Cap is really frustrated, and it's not. I think it's definitely a makings of a villain right there. It's very little screen time though, very little screen time. But he did say that they were going to go. He knew that Bucky and Sam were going to probably go visit Zemo and stuff. So they got to do some off the book kind of stuff to get the job done, right? No. I still don't care about the Flag Smash. Okay, I forgot the name of the Wakanda they sent, but also she's just some side character. She was the right hand woman of Okoye. Wakanda sent on their best. Yeah, at first I thought it was Okoye. I thought it was Michonne. I thought it was her, but then I was like, oh no, that's not her. But it makes sense that Wakanda would be involved, especially with Zemo. Who was it? Sebastian Claw? Was Sebastian Claw? Remember when they were going after his ass? So of course they got some enemies and of course since they know that Zemo broke out, like they want justice, right? This is the guy who killed the king, right? It's crazy. This is the guy who killed the king, but the dude's sipping champagne with Bucky and Sam. So, and then, making little quips and talking about Marvin Gaye, but this is the guy that killed the king. So yeah, it's super interesting. But yeah, I thought it was Michonne for a minute, but it wasn't, or Okoye. I wonder if I said that right. Let's see, Zemo. Where are you? Right there. Zemo felt menacing to me. He's out here putting people down for good. The show is PG-13, but man, they were showing some surprising stuff. I'm going to disagree with you, Albert. I know he put down the scientists. He still has that motive of killing. He even said it himself. No, he's helping these guys because of the resurgence of the Winter Soldier kind of program, right? The super soldier program. So he's definitely using these guys to get the job done. Don't feel like he was menacing though. Don't feel like he was menacing at all, especially when they first they're laying out the plan. They're making little jokes before they go on to the club. Just the way I think it's a little bit Daniel trying to do a little bit too much, where he's trying to be this villain, but this not fluent villain, but like a out of there, not out of there villain. He's trying to. I just feel like he's doing a little too much. I feel like the Russo brothers knew how to handle to make him more menacing in the Winter Soldier film, and I think it's the credit of the Russos to really make him. I just feel like he was just a little bit better in the Winter Soldier because I guess he didn't get too much of him, so you didn't know a lot about his character. The mystery is what really gets you too, and not only that, it's just the determination, the look. I mean, not all villains have to have that face and talk real low and say a couple lines. You can be flamboyant, I guess. You can be a little bit flamboyant. You can talk about Marvin Gaye, but I never thought in this episode I felt like he was menacing. Just like I thought that Sebastian Stan, the Winter Soldier, I feel like the Winter Soldier is not as intimidating anymore. The Winter Soldier movie and the Civil War movie, these guys are painted in kind of a different light. Just go back and watch those, and watch this episode, and you see two different kind of in their lives, in different time periods in their lives, but it's different, And I think I prefer a little bit that way. But then again, those are movies, and those are they don't the mystery of it all, right? And then also just in general, I think the Russo brothers handles the characters better. I know they're trying to go with that espionage, and they're going to like a little different route. You're really getting the layers of these characters, but I don't know. I just really feel like Zemo just wasn't menacing to me. He just didn't. He doesn't feel. He felt. I guess he felt more real in the Civil War, and then in this, it feels a little bit more of a Marvel kind of comic cartoonish. So because Civil War, even though it is a comic book movie, it feels a little bit more grounded. And I think that's the help of cinematography, filmmaking, and what the Russo brothers were doing in this. By all means, Albert, I'm not saying like I don't like it. I still love Zemo. Um, I'm just a little taken aback of how like exploring more of his character and seeing the attitude. I think he's gonna really come to light more and become more menacing later. I think more episodes, the more of him and more of the mindset of him, and like I still feel like he's playing these guys right, and I think they know it too. But that's how I feel on that. But I do like Zemo. Sorry, my eyes all jacked up right now. Dude, that was a good scene. Yeah, dude, Winter Soldier had him by the throat. Where are you? There it is. Dude, Winter Soldier had him by the throat in the plane. It's not all fun and games, just all I want the same thing. Take down the other super soldiers after that Zemo's gonna dip. No, yeah, seriously, like that was a good scene though. Like he was super pissed, but why are you leaving your shit around, Bucky? Why are you leaving your shit around? That was a great intense scene, and then it moves on from that. Though it's just like one little scene, and then it moves on to a. I'm not saying it's comical, but it's just the tone is a little different, right? The tone is very different. You nailed it. It's a John Wick kind of tone, but then if you think about John Wick isn't overly serious. John Wick does have some banter in play, so I just feel like there's a lot of banter in play, and it kind of works, but it's kind of like I said, it's a page turner. So it's a page turner, and it's a little different personality to me. Sorry, my eyes just a little watery and stuff. He ain't going back to prison. No, Zemo's not going back to prison. He's gonna escape at the end of the series for sure, which is good because I do like the costume. I think the only thing I was interested, so the mask, right? I don't think it has any eye holes, or it doesn't have like that Deadpool look. But I do like the costume, the pimp coat, you know. What's up, Matthew? How's it going? Do you think he will get a pardon? Who's Zemo? No, I think he's gonna escape. Zemo's done way too much, man. Zemo doesn't get a pardon, but then again, I know it's crazy because Sam does reference like, dude, this guy right here, Winter Soldier, got a pardon. And how does Sharon Carter not get a pardon, right? It's kind of weird. It's very odd. You know, if you kill a bunch of people, it's okay. You saved more, I think. Albert, nah, dude. In Civil War, they showed that he was ex-military when Tony was in his helicopter. His AI Friday gave him on a rundown on who is Zemo. Who remembers that, Albert? Just you. Okay. No, for real. Yeah, like thank you, Albert, for that pick. I didn't I couldn't remember. I definitely didn't remember that particular scene in Civil War, but I do now, but I wasn't even thinking about that. Bye Ballistic. What's up? How's it going, man? Welcome to the chat. What are your feelings about this episode, man? You got more comments right here. I'll get to it right now. But yeah, I just want to know where I'm at with everybody else. I'm really mixed with this episode. The pacing is just crazy fast. And the one scene I was talking about that it had room to breathe was the scene in the airplane. Yeah, I think it was the scene. Yeah, basically the scene in the airplane, right? When they're talking about what they have to do, and then it kind of just keeps going. Mr. I don't feel so good. Oh my God, that's great. Oh, I love that. Mr. I don't feel so good. Welcome, man. Welcome. Make sure you click on the video up on the top for the Funko giveaway because I need to see that name on there, man. That's amazing. That's amazing username. Zemo is slowly starting to become my favorite MCU character. I'm not gonna I need to see more. I think I need to see more Zemo, but he was my favorite in the Civil War. Here, I just gotta maybe if I watch it the second time, I'll get more into it. It just kind of but he is like I love the actor. I love his motive of taking out all he could use these super soldiers, but he chooses not to because of the destruction. It's crazy. He's a villain that has a motive, and villains that have motives like that are always the best. So I'm looking forward to him. And now that he's in the fold, I just didn't like how like there was no really tension or build. It was just like, okay, he's with the team now. He's with us. We're gonna do it. Like it was just so quick. But I did enjoy the interaction with him and Bucky. But very quick, very odd, very odd paced episode in my opinion. I feel like they should have stretched this out to at least 8 episodes. Let's see. Yeah, Bucky in the flashback in episode 1 was way more intense than how he is now. Yeah, right. The flashback was freaking great. I miss Bucky with his mask and him as the Terminator. Like I love that Bucky version of Bucky. I just watched Hog and I for the first time. I was like, what the fuck is the ending? So I just found one of Hog and I's videos and I checked out your channel and said, oh, look, he's live. Yeah, don't know why I'm bringing this up. But yeah, I was like, what the heck? This is not Hog and I. Come on, man. But no, dude, like, yeah, I'm live. I do live discussions on all Marvel shows because Loki's next, right? Loki is after this. So, but we're talking the Falcon and the Winter Soldier spoilers. So if you guys are just joining me, we're talking spoilers. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I was really mixed by it, but I do say that this is a type of episode. It's really late at night, right? I just literally just watched it and I just kind of still processing it. I'm tired. So I definitely think, I feel like if you're in that type of situation, you got to rewatch it. For me, it's with subtitles, so I get more context in it. So I'm that rating might bump up. But for now, I just really feel like this episode threw a lot of stuff at you, and the pacing was very fast paced. And there was a couple maybe here and there moments where it slowed down with Sharon Carter and Sam and Bucky. So it was a little bit of a baffling episode to me, but there was a lot of good things here. But then there was a lot of yeah, it really felt like a James Bond type of an episode for sure. Trep Coles, welcome in. How's it going? Sharon is doing great where she lives at now. So why save Zemo, Bucky, and Falcon? They can do anything. They can't do anything for her. Yeah, I mean, she's very, very capable of clearly able to handle her own. You know who I miss? I miss Peggy. I miss Peggy. I miss Peggy Carter. But it's good to see that Sharon is getting a little bit more to her character because I really absolutely thought she's just whatever in the movies. I think it was kind of sad to see them go like, "Hey, come with me," and she said, "No, no, bro, I'm good." So I hope she comes back in the later on episodes or something. It seems like she does, right? Or it's implicated she's coming. She has more of a role to play, of course. So no, Sharon Carter was great. I thought Sharon Carter was great in this episode to showcase her abilities. I really wanted Sam to really address the kissing scene for some reason. I know it's all on your mind. Like what? Like come on, Sam, you gotta address that shit, man, because that shit was awkward as fuck. It's an awkward situation. But no, it was Sharon's. But it's good to have. Remember, what Sharon has probably family. Well, she does. She has, she has family in the U.S. I'm pretty sure she wants to see them. I just think it was a messed up. It made sense. It's a messed up way that they really left her hanging. Like not even like Rhodey could have threw her a bone or something. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, everybody disappeared, so I guess it's not that crazy, right? The blip is a really big mention in this series so far, and there was really a lot of when that blip happened, it really fucked everything. People liked it. People enjoyed the blip, and then people who came back did not. Look at Monica Rambeau, So thank you for the question, Trip. Let me know what you think about the episode. I want you guys to let me know if you had to rate it a 1 or 0 out of 10. What would you give the rating to this episode? Because I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I want to know what you guys thought about this episode and what your rating scale is on this. How you feel? Zemo wanted to break up the Avengers in Civil War. Do you think he'll try to break up Bucky and Sam? He might reveal something dark, maybe. That's a good one. That's a good one. But what does he have? Right? What does he have? He probably maybe well maybe I don't know. I don't know what he would have to break these two up. I do feel like too their camaraderie is getting stronger, right? That's a good thing. Their camaraderie is getting stronger with each episode. I don't know how he would though break these two up. He's playing them for sure. He's playing them for sure, but break them up. I don't know how. I don't know what dirt he would have on Sam, but he definitely had dirt. He has dirt on Bucky, but I don't think that connects to Sam at all, unless it's like something really really big that we just don't know about. I have to say too, when Sam's phone rang, I was like, oh my, really? Come on, man. Come on, bro. You had that shit. You didn't have that shit on silent. Come on, man. But I did like how like they didn't use the same trope where the phone call happens and they seem to slide. Nothing comes out of it with the phone call. Like they were able to get out of Dodge, but that didn't happen. Like his sister says Sam, and then like the chick just freaks out. So I appreciate that. I just don't appreciate. You think Sam's gonna forget that in that type of situation? You see, there was a lot of things that had to happen to make the episode go. Zemo going off on his little world, getting the gun, Zemo fighting a car, just little things like that. Sharon happened to be where they're at, so that was a come on a moment. Come on, all right. I love reading this name, Mister. I don't feel so good. I love that name. I agree. I didn't expect Zemo to be out of prison in less than 3 minutes of the episode. I kind of expected him to. I expected him like a little bit of warm up. It felt like it was a let's take like 5 free throws, 2 2-pointers, and let's do 3 shots of 3-pointers, and we're good. We'll call it a day. Or let's just stretch our legs and let's go out there. It just wasn't enough of a warm up, or it just really felt like it was super rushed on that. I was really disappointed on that. I was like, what the fuck? Like he's already there. The big reveal, he's with the team. This is our new little spy espionage team. And then the chemistry with their, I guess it's super odd too because it's Zemo and he's having conversations with Sam and Bucky. It's just very odd to me. Just looking at it, it's just kind of baffling. It's not bad at all. I mean, there's conversations that they have that it's really nice. It seems like everybody is just having a lot of fun, and you could tell on the screen. And like I said, I love the actor Daniel. He's fantastic. Yeah, the whole prison break was part of the cold open before the Falcon and Winter Soldier title. I thought for the second most of the episodes was going to be the prison break. Yeah, I mean that would have been nice. It was so funny because it felt like a heist movie a little bit at one point in the beginning of the episode. It really feels there's a lot of tones shifting everywhere in this episode. You get a little bit of a feel of a heist, a spy espionage, a James Bond kind of feel, a John Wick kind of feel. There's a lot of different feels in this episode. It's like I said, it's really fast paced. It's really go, 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 go. We get here, we go there, we find out information. It just felt like that. And like I said, and a little bit of Jack Reacher in there, Tom Cruise Jack Reacher. I haven't seen the John Kwasowski one, Jim, aka Jim. So it would have been cool to see the prison break though. I mean, they just showed the scene of like Winter Soldier throwing the little paper at the guys and starting a riot, right? It just glossed over a little bit. That's why I think I got to kind of rewatch it and just kind of like appreciate those scenes. But the pacing was super off to me on this one, and I knew it was going to be because there's only 3 more episodes after this episode's done. So 3 more episodes. So it has to. I think we talked about it, Albert. It has to go. This thing has to put the pedal to the metal. But if you think about it, this is not mind-blowing kind of stuff that they're giving us. I don't not unless until like maybe the second to the last episode or the last episode, but there isn't really it's really straightforward. The story is really, really, really straightforward. I'm just I'm interested to see what happens next episode because there was little screen time with New Cap and the Flag Smashers. And then the Flag Smashers are supposed to be your big baddies, right? Killing people, like Albert said. So I'm a little confused, little, like I said, baffled. I'm baffled. Yeah, the whole prison break. Yeah, I read that. You got to talk about John Walker a bit. He wasn't in the episode much, but I saw him get spat on. I did talk about it. I said that New Cap. But yeah, I said that John is there's the crumbles right there. There's the absolutely he's going to there's the showcase of when he becomes a villain. He's very frustrated. He's taking L's, man. He's trying to find leads just like Bucky and Sam. He knows that they went to Zemo. So but you see him getting super pissed. And then for a minute there, I thought he was gonna go off the rails, right? I thought he was gonna do something, some despicable act. It's coming. You see it. You see it. He's trying to prove that he should be like he's trying to prove everybody that he's the best. Like he's the Cap. He's the new Cap. And if you have a man whose ambition is that, and I guess you could say this is a lot of ambition in this episode. He has ambition, and ambition is not always a good thing. Not always leads to good things, I should say. Sometimes it leads to diabolical things. So I see him. You totally saw him just really the mean streak in him. You saw the little anger in him. So it's gonna be interesting when that happens and what happens to his partner. You know. Someone asked if the country that Zemo says took over Sokovia is Latveria. So is Latveria? Is that Doctor Doom? That's Doctor Doom, isn't it? Albert, is that Doctor Doom? Tell me. Spat near the start, and then he right away accused Sam and Buck in breaking out. We spat on near the start, and then well, yeah, well, I mean, he's right. He's right. They did break him out. So I mean, he had a little screen time, Albert. He had a little. That's what kind of, the pacing and stuff. So that's why I think maybe next episode we get more of him. I mean, because they're showcasing that I think he will become eventually a villain. And that was another kind of page turner, in when they introduce him, he's like this, has a girlfriend, he's his friend, he seems like a good guy, and then you just see like, and then he's kind of like playing around with, like, he wants help from Sam and Bucky. He seems like a cool guy, and then he just kind of like says, fuck you better stay off of my feet and shit. Like it's page turner, it's a switch. It's a switch for some of these characters, and he's one of them. He's a switch. At first you're like, okay, what's this guy all about? And then you kind of see that, he does have a little bit of mean streak, a little good heart, but definitely a mean streak in there. And I can see this guy becoming a villain. Wyatt Russell has said that he loves being hated, not too much. He hopes maybe not too much, but what can you do? Well, just read the memes on this new Cat, man. Nobody likes him. Okay, what is the significance of Zemo reading Machiavelli? Was it Machiavelli? Tupac's Machiavelli, but I know Machiavelli. I know what you're talking about. In prison, do you think he wants to fake his death? I can see that. Sorry if the thing's going in and out. I mean, I don't have my webcam working right now. I can see him doing that. I mean, he has to escape somehow, right? If anybody believes that he's going back to prison, that would be the biggest twist of this whole series. He's not going back to prison. He's escaping. There is no shadow of a doubt. This dude is either going to escape, and I don't think they're going to kill him off. Why would you kill off a character like Zemo? So yeah, I mean, there's always a lot of hints, right? Especially with WandaVision, there was a lot of hints. There was even like a commercial in the very start of this episode. It went by so quick, I didn't really think about it till now. There was a commercial, there's lots of hints that they throw at you that what may occur either down the line or at the end. So wouldn't be shocked at all if that meant something, and you might be all right on the money. Thank you for that. Mr. I don't feel so good. Appreciate that you like my name, but John Walker's actor is doing a really great job of making us hate the new Cap. His ego is really annoying. Yes, you gotta realize, you gotta understand. A lot of these characters that we hate, nobody could stand. You gotta give it kudos to the actor. They're playing this role. This is what it's all. The biggest example is from Game of Thrones, right? From Game of Thrones. Oh my god, I can't believe can't remember his name. It was the kid. What Robert Baratheon's son, or Jamie and Cersei's son. What the hell's his name? Game of Thrones guys. What is that, guys? I mean, how can I? Joffrey. Thank you. So remember, the actor who played Joffrey was getting death threats. He was getting hated on so much, but he did such a wonderful job of that character. He's probably one of the most hated villains ever, but he did a fantastic job. So Wyatt Russell's doing a fantastic job. The actor's doing a fantastic job for not one. And then how do you like? You can't go up. It's impossible to even be liked because everybody loved Chris Evans, Captain America. So of course you come in and fill the shoes. I mean, show reality, it's the same. Like you're gonna hate this guy, but the actor is doing a phenomenal job. So yes, you're absolutely right. So Joffrey, best example is Joffrey. I think the actor who played Joffrey too in Game of Thrones, think he called it a career, but what a hell of a ride. You know, he was in Batman Begins as well as a little kid. But him in Game of Thrones, the dude did a phenomenal job, even with getting death threats and people not realizing it's just a show. He's doing his job, but he did a fantastic job. Yeah, Doctor Doom. I can't wait to see Doom, especially when they're doing the Fantastic Four reboot. So I can't wait to see Doom somewhere down the line. Doctor Doom is, I think a lot of people are excited for that one. Sam and Buck talked about Isaiah in front of Zemo. Zemo don't like super soldiers. Yeah, I mean, they introduced Isaiah in the last episode, so they got to bring him back somehow, right? And you got to remember, I think is that his grandson that was in the last episode? I think it's his grandson, right? And he becomes like a young Avenger Avenger as well. I've been reading a lot of articles on that, so I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but at some point Isaiah is going to come back to play. Joffrey, I got it, Albert. I got the Joffrey. I'm very and Draco Malfoy. Yeah, Draco Malfoy. I was going to say Draco Malfoy, but I don't know if there's a lot of Harry Potter fans in here, but I was never a big fan of Harry Potter, so that's why I went Joffrey. His grandson is Patriot of Young Adventures. Yeah, you know, I'm trying to think if I saw any media of that, of Young Patriot, but yeah, that's great. That's great. So that definitely may happen. So yeah, guys. I mean, what else? There's so much to digest, man. Wakanda being involved. I won't touch upon that a lot. I mean, it makes sense. Like I said, we'll see the next episode. I don't think they'll ever even capture Zemo 2. So Zemo's going to get out of this for sure at the end of the season, in my opinion. The scientists explain this how he created the super soldier serum. Like, so there is, there's minds out there that could do it. It's not like even if Zemo killed this guy, it doesn't mean somebody else is not going to take over the research, and able to do something with it. Like I said, super soldier serum always reminds me of the episode with Spider-Man. The animated series, the 90s anime series, where they did introduce like Captain America and Red Skull. I'm hoping as much as I like Zemo, I'm hoping Red Skull comes back in the picture down the line. I want to see Red Skull back in here. What else is in here? Like I said, the action sequences were great. It really feels like Bucky is back to being Bucky. Even though he had to go back to Winter Soldier, but Bucky really feels like a different kind of character. There's different personalities in my. He resorted back to Bucky basically, and but that's that's good. That's great. It's seeing that Sebastian Stan is able to kind of like just don't frown, and he's able to really express this character more. And like they're writing Bucky and a lot of these characters in a good way. And then Sam had more jokes in this episode, and he didn't. There wasn't really too much. It was just. It seems like for Sam's character, and then this whole series, I feel like he's just there. He's there to do a job. He just wants to do a job. He wants to get the mission done, and go home. That's really how I feel about Sam's attitude. But Sam is starting to realize, should have destroyed the damn shield. He's in over his head. But eventually Sam's going to get that shield, and I think his character is going to evolve a lot more in the next couple of episodes, because I think he's going to really know what it means. I think he's definitely going to be the new Cap. I know that's like a back and forth there. I think they're trying to kind of like, oh, maybe Winter Soldier. I think Sam's going to be Cap. And I like how he's kind of like he's thrown in this, but I think he'll eventually realize like, yeah, that shield represents something. It represents something even to Winter Soldier. So Zemo is Sokovian, Bruce Wayne. That's what I said. Yeah. By the death of the family, he even got his own Alfred. You're talking about Bruce. Yeah, the storyline where Alfred dies, huh? The Red Skull name drop got my hands sweating, dude. I want that Red Skull. Give me that Red Skull, baby. And the actor is Mr. or Agent Smith, right, from The Matrix, and he was in Lord of the Rings, and he didn't want to come back and do it. I think it was because of the pay. He didn't want to do the makeup, all that. I mean, makeup is no joke, man. A lot of the celebrities hate being in that chair. Look at Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. So if they bring the Red Skull back, the Red Skull in Endgame was actually the actor, the Walking Dead actor who's currently on right now. And he does fantastic impressions. I forgot his name. But bring that guy in. Bring that guy in to be the Red Skull. I'm all for that, for sure. Okay, so it's getting a little late there. Getting a little tired, I think we kind of covered a little bit of base. I'll probably rewatch it. I might drop another review to see if my rating has changed, because I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. This is starting to move along, though. I mean, even though the pacing was a little bit messy, and they could have really kind of. I really do think they need more episodes to tell a better story, to really kind of flesh. I feel like this needed a little bit more of interactions and breathing room, especially with Zemo breaking out of the prison. But for what it is, I mean, I think the next episode is going to be better. I think the next episode is going to have more of a more balanced, I guess, episode. Even though this one was the longest one, it's kind of. I sat there and I wondered, like, we're at the it wasn't his name Aaron in the show. Yeah, I think it's Aaron in The Walking Dead, I believe. I sat there thinking, like, we're at the halfway point. So I compared it to WandaVision, at the halfway point. This is the point where it starts getting interesting. This is the point where now we're like really invested in it, right? Because WandaVision halfway point was after episode 3 or 4. And then it started getting really good. WandaVision is a different beast on its own, because it was more of like, I think what really got that show really hyped was the theories that were going out, and it was the mystery of it all. And then once you found out the mystery, and then you're like, oh, okay. Well, this one is more straight to the point, straightforward. It's more of a spy kind of type of series. So right now, pacing wise and just overall like enjoyment, I think I enjoyed WandaVision at the halfway point more than I enjoying this, because this episode was really thrown at you. But I think the next episode, because there's only 3 more episodes, I think the next episode is going to be a superior episode than this one. I think it's going to be, because now that they got everybody in play, right? They got Zemo in play. They got even Sharon in play. They got Wakanda involved. You could focus on more of what you want to do. I just really think they need to really establish those flag smashers, and they definitely need more screen time with New Cap if they're going to do something with that. But it seems like it was definitely more kind of setting up to the next episode. And they have 3 episodes, right? And I kind of view this as like a big film, a big movie where it's 6 episodes, but just think of it as a movie. So when you're sitting down in a long movie like that, you're gonna get like these kind of pacing, these tones, going from one place to another. That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm watching like a Jack Reacher movie, you know. So that so I think the next episode, now that we're going to the kind of a little bit of the third act, almost to the third act, we're still a little bit in the middle. I think that's when it starts getting turning up to 11. I think it started more, not as messy. All right, not as messy because we have all the key players now in position to go for the win. So that's what I'm hoping for. Let's get a couple more comments, guys, and then I gotta get some sleep, man. I need to go memes. I always wondered if Sam gave up the shield because racism. He thought they wouldn't accept him to pick up the mantle of Captain America. That's my theory. I mean, yeah. I mean, that could be part of it. I mean, they really showcase a little bit of the racism, right, side of of the series when it came to Isaiah, when it came to when Bucky and Sam in the last episode were having a little spat, and the cops showed up, rolled up, was really going after Sam, and then he had like the little message in the background. So that could definitely be another part of it. I think they really are using this series to address a lot of the racism that's going that we don't see that in Marvel movies at all, right? Everybody's kind of buddy buddy with everybody, but I think the only time we kind of saw that was even I wouldn't even say we really saw that if I think about it. Black Panther, right? Black Panther, they just showcased well, I guess they did. They mentioned it. You didn't really visually see it too much. Only if you lived in like a bad neighborhood and stuff, that's what you saw. But they didn't. They really kind of Killmonger's whole thing was where's the help of everybody else who's dying out here. So this one though, that's really kind of like it's more of showcasing like, yeah, there's racism still. There's racism, right? And you have to address that. Look at Isaiah. Look what happened to Isaiah. And then so I could see, Sam, and then just yeah, overall, that's the idea, right? Like, are you going to accept Sam as Captain America? You know, so they're I think they are addressing that. I think they are addressing it's all it's politics, right? I mean, this show is Winter Soldier, the first Captain America. It's all has to do with military America, how America is now. Even as Flag Smashers, I believe the rebellion or what they're doing and them trying to survive. Like I see it. I definitely see it. They're not hitting you. They're not hitting you over the head with it. They're not taking it a step further. If you remember the scene that escalated there with the Bucky and Sam and the cops showing up, it diffuses really quick. They arrest Bucky, and it's over. Like that scene's done. So I don't. We'll probably see a little bit more in the episodes, but that's a great idea. I mean, Sam not taking the shield, that could be one of them, but mostly I think it's because Sam doesn't think he deserves it. He doesn't think that he's worthy of it. It's kind of like Thor, with his hammer. But Sam is worthy of it, and I think he'll eventually realize he is, and he needs to take that mantle. He needs to run with it, even if he doesn't want to. It's kind of like a destiny kind of thing, right? So, all right, guys. Well, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being here. I mean, I'm going to definitely watch this episode again, see what I missed. Just kind of, but overall feelings mixed a little bit. I think when I think about it, though, I did enjoy the episode. It's just a little. It's just going to take me a while to just kind of like breathe a little bit and just kind of when I sleep, I think I'm gonna be just sleeping, just thinking about when I sleep, I'm different, man. I think about everything that I just watched in my brain. I'm kind of like a Minority Report and just like have all these scenes, seeing how the murder is going to take place, But let you guys know, giveaway Funko Pop link is still in the description box if you want to go and sign up for that, baby. You just click on that link, put hashtag X-Men, subscribe to the channel. You're entered. We got 3 more episodes, and then I'll announce the winner, and we'll see what this leads to. We'll see where this is going, how it's going to connect maybe to the other series or whatnot. It's kind of crazy how different of a tone Falcon and Winter Soldier is to WandaVision. Yet this is the same universe, and they're all going to connect. I feel like we're going to see Rhodey one more time in this series for sure. So thank you guys. Good night. Have a good sleep, and then we'll do this again next week. So bye bye.